Oh.
And we got sound.
And sound.
Gotcha.
Win-win.
So, we wanted to make a little bit of a video and show you a couple of interesting things about the stock tensioner assembly, stock layout of the belt on a JLR 3-liter, 5-liter supercharged engine, and then also give you a little bit of a preview of a product that we're launching here, which is our Stage 2 tensioner. So, this is the existing product that we offer. It's made by American Racing Solutions. We've been selling those for a while now, and it's a good upgraded part that has a higher spring tension, so it's going to apply a little bit more to the belt, prevent slippage. Belt slipping on this platform is an issue, particularly as we start to see cars get older and some parts being mixed and matched, different tensioners which have a different offset from the crank face, just like the pulleys do, different backing plates as people are kind of fixing issues or replacing parts. They're not necessarily all interchangeable. But the reason we got this engine dressed to show you is to give you an illustration of why it's challenging on this platform as we try and drive higher loads through the belt and create more boost to prevent that belt from slipping. So this is the stock layout, albeit it's not a stock crank pulley and it's not a stock tensioner, but this is exactly how the stock belt drive is laid out. And one of the most striking things about it is this idler pulley up here. So typically, as you're driving the supercharger, this is usually going to be the slippage point that you're going to run into. It's the smallest pulley in the system. The crank pulley, we've gone even bigger than stock, so we're increasing our belt contact, total surface area contact with the pulley and the belt. When you go smaller on the upper pulley to drive the supercharger faster for a given number of engine rotations, you're decreasing your surface area that's in contact. So that's where having a stronger tensioner helps. But I mentioned this idler pulley. You want, in an ideal situation, to have as much belt wrap around this upper pulley as you can get. If you look at maybe a 3-liter Audi TFSI engine, they'll have a full 180 degrees of wrap, the belt coming down here, which is ideal. So what is this here for? One of the problems with this layout is that you'll see that the belt and the body of the tensioner are very close together. Now this belt is sized correctly for this pulley setup. You can see on the tensioner there's 2 reference marks, and then there's another reference mark on the opposing half that sits in between them. This tensioner is sort of halfway through its sweep, so it can sweep up a little bit and it can sweep down a little bit. When you put load through the belt and the engine and it pulls on this, it's going to start to sweep the tensioner down. And where you start to run into problems, especially as the tensioner wears out, is that this belt hits the body of the tensioner. We see witness marks on the top of them on used vehicles that have older tensioners. And once it starts to rub on here, it's going to start to wear this belt pretty quickly, and that's when the belt comes apart. One of the problems with the belt coming apart is a lot of the vehicles have a mechanical vacuum pump here. In fact, they all have a mechanical vacuum pump here. Some of them are not connected. Some of them pump to fresh air, and the vehicle runs an electric pump. But this is what powers your brake booster. So that's one of the reasons we designed the brake booster kit, the electric brake booster kit, so you could run an electric vacuum pump on the F-types. Anyway, that's where that pump goes. So, problem, you don't have an ideal situation here. If you pulled this idler pulley off and you straight lined this, you would immediately hit the body of the tensioner. So the engineers were trying to resolve a problem, trying to lay this out as best they could given the constraints that they had, and this is the solution that they came up with. Does it work fine on a completely stock vehicle? Absolutely it does. But as we keep saying when we talk about modifying vehicles, things that work fine on a stock engine don't necessarily work fine when you start to modify things. So this was the Stage 1 tensioner that we introduced and launched recently. It does take higher spring pressure, so it will handle higher loads, and it does help prevent belt slippage. But as we've driven forward further and further with the 2300 kits that Harrop engineered, we wanted to come up with an even more robust solution. So we're going to swap some parts over on this engine and show you the new Stage 2 kit and explain to you what we've done differently with that. Okay, here's one we made for you earlier. I actually did it myself, so if there's things that look terrible on this, don't laugh at me. So this is what we have designed as the Stage 2 tensioner. So you can see there's a large bracket here. This mounts in to cover up the factory mechanical vacuum pump location. So you do have to run an electric vacuum pump. Several of the cars have them. The 22 on F-Pace has an electric vacuum pump already. The pump is there, it's just not connected to anything. So we're blanking that off. We're tying this bracket in to the idler pulley mount as well as to the alternator mount on the back side here. So it's very securely mounted. There's some special cutouts on the back to allow all the accessory drive belts to run past it. We've tested that extensively. This is another Ford style tensioner. It'll look really similar to a stock tensioner, but whereas the factory tensioner is pulling in this direction against the tension of the belt coming down, this tensioner is actually wanting to pull in a counterclockwise direction. So what that allows us to do on the top side here is to run the supercharger belt under this upper idler pulley. So rather than coming up over here, we've increased the amount of belt wrap here because this is where it's going to slip. And then this tensioner is actually pulling the belt back against the idler. So we've removed it from the center, passed it underneath, and now all the tension that's being applied upward here is pulling it against the idler and then back down against the supercharger pulley. So something that we tested extensively when we went to even higher drive rates with potentially smaller pulleys, larger cranks, things of that nature. This is an even better solution to belt tensioner issues and belt slippage issues when you're trying to run a 2300. And it also allows you for some even larger amounts of belt wrap if you really want to. This idler pulley here, for example, can be purchased. You could put that in place here, get even more belt wrap underneath, and improve the system beyond what we've designed. But this is the stage 2 tensioner design. This entire kit is very competitively priced, very similar to what the standard upgraded tensioner costs. You do obviously have some potentially higher costs with purchasing a vacuum pump delete and having that installed as well. And there is a little modification that you have to make to the factory bracket. This is where the stock tensioner mounts, and this tensioner pulley here would actually just contact it. So there is a little bit of grinding that you have to do to this backing plate to allow it to clear and move freely. This is not something that you need to do on a stock engine. This is not something that you need to do on a 1900. This is something we designed specifically for the 2300 kit. But that being said, if you get to this stage where you need to replace your stock tensioner anyway, this might be an upgrade that some people want just purely for peace of mind and to have the best possible solution on the car. So these are in production. These brackets are done. We're expecting to have this launched here in the next few days and start taking pre-orders, and shipments should follow very soon thereafter.